Courageous.
Organized.
Dedication.
Skillful.
Artist.
Modern.
Genius.
Perfection.
I'm trained to get in the right state of mind.
I am Peder Fredriksson.
He has a lot of experience, a great rider.
Peder is really inspiring.
He loves to share his knowledge.
When you win, you're celebrating together. If it goes badly, you share it with the team. I like it.
But it's not so easy.
He has a lot of skills.
Peder made the sport bigger in Sweden. The sport would be different if he wouldn't been there.
Biggest moment with the most pressure, he can stay so calm and so focused.
And that is the answer. How could it be number one in the world?
And this is pursuit of greatness.
Welcome back to GCTV and welcome back to the beautiful Riesenbeck International Arena here in Riesenbeck. This is stage 11 of the Global Champions League and the course walk for round 2 is officially underway. The riders are right behind me getting their course walk underway. In fact, there they are. Can the camera show you some of that? We'll be able to see all of that and we'll go to that ring in a few moments' time. Catch up with Fredrik de Backer, get some reaction as to what took place in round 1. Remind you of some of the team changes that have taken place for Global Champions League round 2. I'm thinking of the fact that the Prague Lions, powered by the Czech equestrian team, have already told us that NASCAR will come in for round 2. FMS, Fernando Martina Soma, comes in for round 2. So there have been changes and we will bring them all to you in a few moments' time. For now though, let's start. GCL Round 1 results. This is how it looks now going into the second round. This crucially is how the teams line up at the end of Global Champions League Round 1. A single time fault for Christian Kuckuck and a clear from Philip Weishaupt leaves Riesenbeck International in the provisional lead. But they are somewhat in no man's land if a single fence goes down. Paris Panthers, Geir Freeling jumping a 4 in round 1. A clear from Ben Meyer on Ginger Blue in round 2 keeps them in a very strong position. And then from an overall top 4 perspective, the Saint-Tropez Pirates staying very strong, keeping the pressure on the rest. Prague Lions, I'm afraid, having that 8 in round 1 keeps them slightly behind. But it's the difficult day of the Stockholm Hearts powered by H&M, that 12 collectively of Olivia Philipparts and Marlon Bayer-Jonsson that puts them under pressure and all effectively but ends their top 4 fight. Does it mean that it's a guarantee that the Stockholm Hearts will not make it into the GCL Super Cup semi-finals? Of course not. But as it stands now, based on the table, based on the standings, and based on a 12-score penalties from GCL Round 1, many would imagine that from here, going into the GC Prague playoffs in November later this year, the Stockholm Hearts powered by H&M may well not be inside that top 4. Let's talk about one of the big surprises of Global Champions League Round 1, and that is of the Mexico Amigos. One of the, if not in fact, the youngest lineup of the weekend with an average age of just 23 years. Tom Watchman and Muda Ziada jumping clear and 4 to put them as one of the surprising teams on 4. We caught up with young Tom Watchman.
Tom, very well done. First to go for your team. How do you rate that performance?
Yeah, I was delighted. The horse jumped really well. I was delighted with him. The plan we walked came up exactly kind of as we walked it, so no, very happy.
And for round 2, any changes in the team?
I think Hansi Dreyer will jump instead of Muda, but I think that's what we discussed earlier anyway, so I'm going to ride the same horse.
So we'll see you back in round 2?
Yeah, hopefully.
Again, congratulations on your gold medal win at the Europeans.
Thanks very much.
Do you think that gave you extra confidence going into the Global today?
Yeah, I suppose it's kind of a sport where it's all about what role you're on, and no, it definitely helped.
Well, very well done and best of luck for round 2.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Just 18 years of age, outstanding performance from young Tom Watchman, jumping superbly well, and his brother, in fact, so close to making a double family clear. I'm afraid it was not the case, though, as a little bit later on, as the two teams continued to go head-to-head, it was Max who then came home on a 4. Now, the Shanghai Swans were the final team to come out in Global Champions League Round 1. Daniel Deusser jumping on Bingo Setemel, by the way, which was absolutely brilliant to see them back. Then alongside Max Kuhne and Electric Blue P, they were potentially looking at the lead. They were potentially looking to become the only team on double clear. Daniel Deusser producing just his second clear, adding a stride there to the final fence as well. Looking to become the only team on double clear. Bingo Setemel jumps a clear, and then Max Kuhne, I'm afraid, unable to repeat that. Electric Blue P taking a fence down, and with that, Shanghai Swans then find themselves on 4. They do not take the provisional lead, but they do find themselves in a good position for a podium, and they have been trying to increase momentum, turn up the momentum, and if podium today, that will be a very, very good result for the Shanghai Swans team. Applause from Christian Allman in the kiss and cry, seeing his teammates appreciating the performance. And whilst it was not perfect, it was indeed still very strong from the Shanghai Swans, who now put together 4 penalties from Global Champions League Round 1. But this wonderful championship battle between the Paris Panthers and the Riesenbeck International continues to go down the wire. Paris Panthers jump a 4, Riesenbeck International jump a 1, and they continue this 2-horse race for the 2023 season. Let's start with the Paris Panthers, who with Jur Freeling and Ben Mayer came out with a really, really strong lineup. Jur Freeling and Fumicino was the first man out for the team, and late in the round, so much so in fact that up to the final fence it looked to be a clear for Jur Freeling, and unfortunately for him and for Fumicino, that rail going down on the final line, that final fence taking him to a score of 4 penalties, denying him the clear. Ben Mayer then on Ginger Blue, looking to go on and go just one better, keep it slightly tidier. And Ben Mayer on Ginger Blue, jumping clear, keeping the team on 4 and keeping the pressure on Riesenbeck International, who were to come in a few moments' time. The Istanbul Warriors then followed shortly, but the Riesenbeck International were then the next team to come. Ben Mayer, unlike Jur Freeling, keeps the fence up, stays on a clear, and leaves the Paris Panthers on a score of 4. From that moment, the ball was then in the court of Riesenbeck International. They knew that they had to keep it tidy, they had to keep it clean, and they knew that the pressure was on. So, in steps, Philipp Weishout, in steps, Christian Kuckuck, both jumping 2 9-year-old horses in Global Champions League Round 1, somewhat of a theme that we've been seeing develop over the last few weeks. Well, let's show you what took place with Riesenbeck International, your championship leaders. Just be gentle, 4 out of 5 clears coming into this round, looked to be clear. Did not have a single fence going down, Christian Kuckuck, the leading rider in Global Champions League this season. And here, knowing that it was the time penalty maybe creeping up, 78, 79, and just creeps in to 80.40. It gives him the time penalty. And with that, Riesenbeck International found themselves on a score of 1 penalty. This meant that Philipp Weishout had a slightly trickier round to go, knowing that a single fence down would then take them into either the realms of 5s or 9s if multiples were to fall. Zinedine, 2 out of 2 clear in Global Champions League thus far this season, and Weishout on this 9-year-old makes sure that he keeps all the fences up. And unlike his teammate Christian Kuckuck, makes sure that he stays inside the time allowed. Tight on that rollback. And now approaching that final line, coming into the final fence, well within the 80 seconds allowed, keeps the fences up, stays clear, and puts Riesenbeck International now in the leading position. It has been job half done for Riesenbeck International. They are almost there. And interestingly enough, we spoke to them at the end of Global Champions League Round 1 and asked them what would the approach be. Do they play conservative in second round? Do they look trying to just make up some championship points and hold on to a lead? Or do they risk it all, go for a win, and try and win it here at home? Well, Christian Kuckuck says absolutely go for the win each and every single time. Fredrik de Backer is standing by. I wonder if he agrees with Christian Kukuk. Fredrik, there is a long-term game and a short-term game. Risk it all, win at home, fairy tale story, or just take it easy, happy to get on the podium and get closer to a championship win. Where do you go?
A very comfortable position. You know, they know exactly what they have to do.
Yep.
We've spoken already a lot of times about team managers giving indications. You need to get that time. This is the result that you need. They know what they have to do. They have to jump double clear. That's how easy it is. It's no longer about the combined time. If they have a fence down, they drop behind all those teams on 4 penalties. So for Riesenbeck International, this is, in the most bizarre way, the easiest position they've ever been in. It's also the riskiest because every rail now might even throw them off the podium. But in terms of tactics or how they have to approach this, it's never about pace. They never have to worry about the speed, about combined time. They can just have to jump that double clear, and they can take all the time they need. They can even take time penalties in this second round, which would be a one-off, I think, that a team would win it on just time penalties.
And interestingly enough, it's almost the exact opposite, if not somewhat similar, of Paris Panthers, where now the ball is in their court. They jumped first in Global Champions League Round 1, left it at the doorstep of Riesenbeck. They responded, and now I can say to Paris Panthers, you want to go win it? You want to blow the lights out? Pressure is on you. How do Paris Panthers play this? Surely they know that they have to push for victory, but there are risks involved there, aren't there?
Absolutely. I haven't seen any start list yet about who is coming in, which horses are being swapped. I don't see a Paris Panther around me. Yeah, I think we have. Let's just ask. Your feeling is over there. Let's just run over to Jur. I'm sorry. I'll let you blow your nose first. That is courtesy of GCTV. Jur, I haven't seen a start list. What is Paris Panthers doing in terms of lineup?
Ben and me are both riding again.
Which horses?
Long John and Ben,
it changes.
I think Dallas.
And Dallas Vegas. Jur, we were talking about the approach of Riesenbeck. It's very easy for them. They have to jump double clear. Don't have to worry about the time allowed or the combined time because they've got that time penalty. For you, it's just the same. It's not about combined time. It's about jumping double clears.
Yeah, but okay, there are more on 4 faults, so we have to go a little bit in a rhythm, not too slow. Maybe a little bit less than the last round I took on the last fence. What you said was correctly. I had a little bit of inside turn and I came too deep. But okay, now it's time to step up and do it better.
Did you hear Rob Hoekstra yet?
Danny spoke with him. I should ride better, he said.
I can imagine. I'm not going to say I can imagine, but I'll let you go. I'll let you take off. You're feeling best of luck. We are going to close here, I believe. We are going to close here in GCL Round 2. This is the course walk is on the way, and we could write history, Mark. It could very well be that Riesenbeck International are going to make it 6 and write history at home. 6 stage wins in a single season.
We are waiting for that moment. Fans are waiting for that moment. Potential storytelling, history telling here on GCTV. Thank you very much, Fredrik de Backer. Some confirmation then from Jur Frieling that he and Ben Mayer will continue. But Long John comes in. Dallas Vegas comes in as well. So all of a sudden, some changes for the Paris Panthers, who now know that the pressure is with them. Ball is in their courts. Jur Frieling caught up with Grace Kelly.
Look, it's an interesting position now. You're right behind Riesenbeck International. You need to get over the line. What are you hoping to do in round 2?
For sure, clear round. 2 clear rounds. Okay, Long John is not the fastest, so we have to hope on some faults from other teams, but the plan is to ride as good as possible.
Does this course suit you better?
Yeah, it's a fantastic horse, Long John, and he's in a great shape, but it's quite a big course, so you can have a fault everywhere, and we have to focus on that.
And do we see Ben back in the ring again, or Harry?
Yeah, Ben again.
Okay, well, best of luck, guys.
Super, we need it.
So confirmation then, Jur Frieling and Ben Mayer coming back in for Paris Panthers at GCL Round 2. Interestingly, from a GCL Super Cup semi-final perspective, Madrid in Motion are flirting with danger here. They are looking to try and make this more exciting, perhaps, than it needs to be for the Madrid in Motion riders. Let's remind you what took place in Round 1 for Madrid in Motion. Jack Whittaker, 1 out of 4 clears, coming into Riesenbeck International, jumps 5. Michael van der Vleuten with a very difficult and perhaps uncharacteristic performance on Louise Declips, making a GCL debut for Michael van der Vleuten. Comes home on 13, and with that takes Madrid in Motion to 18 penalties overall. We caught up with Jack Whittaker to hear his thoughts on what took place in GCL Round 1.
Jack, look, Madrid in Motion are in quite a good position so far in the season, but just not the best performance today. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, no, a bit of a strange day tomorrow. Vame had a really soft fence down. Wouldn't be his fence at all from bar with Ox. I don't think I've ever really had a front bar with Ox down. Can't remember last time I did anyway. And like, very out of the blue, Michael's horse just wasn't performing today. So his horse it's how it goes. But he's got to try and move on to the next one.
And round 2, any changes in horses?
Yeah, so Laura's coming on with Dorados and Michael is jumping Beauville. So 2 very good horses there, 2 very good riders. I'm being substituted.
And do you think this course will suit Michael's horse now better, maybe?
Beauville, I think any course can suit Beauville and Michael. They're a very seasoned partnership and they're on great form, so I'm not too worried about them.
Super well, best luck for the team.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Not the performance that Madrid Emotion were hoping for in Global Champions League round 1. 18 penalties going into the second round. It will make this second round of GCL stage 11 very difficult for them, very tricky for them. But as it stands now, that hunt for the top 4 between Saint-Tropez and Prague Lions intensifies with just a single rail between those 2 teams. And then that hunt for the top as Riesenbeck International, powered by Kingsland, and the Paris Panthers continue to go toe-to-toe. Just 3 penalties because of the 4 of Paris Panthers. The one-time fault to Riesenbeck means that there is again just 1 rail separating the 2 teams. Riesenbeck International have made it clear they will be aggressive, they will go for the win, they want the GCL record and they want to win here at home in front of their home fans. Now the Paris Panthers know that they cannot allow Riesenbeck to win yet another stage. They cannot allow them even more breathing room at the top. So they will have to be aggressive. And all of a sudden, Jurt Freeling, Ben Mayer will need to be at their best as they try look to get on top of the podium. It will all unfold for you next here on GCTV. Stay with us. Global Champions League Round 2 live from Riesenbeck is next.
Best positioned. He has got a 51-point lead on a Christian Kukuk, who will try to qualify on Just Be Gentle and then take on the Grand Prix on Mumbai. That is his ambition. Van der Vleuten not with Beauville here. He is here with Luigi de Clips and with O'Bailey van het Brouwershof, and that O'Bailey is going to jump this qualifier. There already Julien Paillard, very early to go on Dubai du Cèdre. And also number 8, Aris Molders, Urikas van de Kattenvenne. Those 2 riders with both just 5 counting results, yet cemented in the top 10 of the championship at this point, with 5 Grand Prix still to be jumped. Roteberger, Sloothaak, Beerbaum, and in the background Johnny Pals. Who's who of Dutch and German show jumping in a way, if you want to include Johnny Pals, but certainly Sloothaak and Beerbaum clearly. 21 individuals and then 16 teams on this beautifully manicured grounds of Riesenbeck International, where André Thieme in 2021 claimed his biggest trophy, the biggest accolades in his career, winning the European Championships here in front of a home crowd on the outstanding DSP Chacarilla. But that is for later. If we have a quick look, I do see that it is Thieme coming in with DSP Chacarilla. So they have made a change in their lineup. And there, the bumper circumstance for this Grand Prix qualifier. This is the big warm-up out on this beautiful facility in Riesenbeck. So many knowledgeable horsemen and women around the ring here. Gives it a lot of extra vibe, very knowledgeable crowd. And there's breeders, owners, riders, all kinds in this real horse country, horse land that is Münsterland in the northwest of Germany here. First to go in the qualifier is Ramzi Aldohami, and Ramzi is on Untouchable, who is by Van Helsing, and Ladies King. Hanoverian, this Untouchable. And Aldo Hami is first going to look at the state and the shape of this ring. What an arena. With its unique shape, it offers a lot of possibilities to riders and course designers. He stepped down from Riyadh Blue from round 1 and now comes in as individual Ramzi Aldo Hami with untouchable 32. Van Helsing, Ladies King Silvio. Ladies King is by Landadel Grundyman. And Ramzi Aldo Hami can give it a shot to qualify for the 11th Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of the season. And from Riyadh, who is based in the Écurie de Cossim in Belgium during the summer. And there his teammate David Will. Time allowed 84 seconds. Let's be honest, Aldo Hami starts comfortably, slowly. Where can he find more pace in his round? 7 to the vertical. And then a right hand bend into Ludgers. 270 turn, and now it's interesting. Many have been asking questions, what is this? From the wavy plank, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, holding 6 for him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 into the combination. Right hand bend then into the Longines Global Champions Tour Oxer, who stands there single all by himself in the corner. Takes up a lot of time but introduces the riders into the last sector. Triple combination, vertical, 1 stride. Sorry, 2 strides, 1 stride out. Then it's long on 4, flat over that upright, and now another rollback. How about the time? 84 seconds. Aldo Hami is going to make the time allowed, only just. It is a rail at the last and 0.35 outside the time, making it 9 for Ramzi Aldo Hami and untouchable. Not a bad round, but should it not be a time penalty? No, 84, apologies. 84 is the time allowed, so it is 8 for Ramzi Aldo Hami.
The first rider to win multiple legs of the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix Series in 2023, Julien Epierre, with victories in Saint-Tropez and then a few weeks later in Monaco. The French world number 2, Julien Epierre.
Julien Epierre is in with Dubai du Centre, straight away an important round for the championship. Epierre, who sits high on the championship standings at the moment. He is 7th with just 5 counting Grand Prix, 2 of which he won. And now on Dubai by Baloubet and Diamant de Semilly. And by his horsepower, that would mean that Dubai jumped the previous class. With this qualifier and